Good morning, everybody. I hope that you're well. This morning, I am going to read a poem about my family. Like I said that I would yesterday, we're sort of on that theme. This poem is about my aunt, among other things, my aunt Judy, who was my mother's sister. And when I was growing up, I used to spend a lot of time in New Hampshire with my grandparents, which is where my aunt also lived. And so a lot of these poems that you're going to hear over the next couple of days are poems about those family members, and there's a lot of imagery from sort of the northern New Hampshire landscape because I spent a lot of time there when I was growing up. And it's a beautiful place. If you've never been to the northern part of New Hampshire, my grandparents basically lived on the side of a mountain. And I always describe it to people, if I'm trying to ground them, I always describe it as Northern Exposure. If you're familiar with that show, it's very much like that. Actually, they've had bears cross Main Street, which I believe was a shot in the opening sort of montage of Northern Exposure back in the day. So if you know anything about that show, that's kind of where my grandparents grew up. So this is a poem that's an elegy for my aunt who passed away from ovarian cancer when I was a senior in college. And it features a song that she was a big fan of called Louisiana Saturday Night. And this particular poem was published in a journal called Memoirs and Mixtapes. And I will link to that journal in the post, but you should check it out because, in addition to being fabulous and lovely people and also supporters of literature, they do this really cool thing where they post a playlist for each issue that they produce, because each piece, whether it's a poem or a piece of nonfiction in their issue, is inspired by a song. And so then they take all those songs and they put them together into this playlist, which is very cool. And they have multiple issues, which they call volumes. So I will post the link to that and you should check it out. And if you don't know this song, you might want to take a listen to it. It's a toe tapper, as my dad would say. So this is my poem, Elegy, featuring Louisiana Saturday Night and the Weathervane Theater. You played Mel McDaniel's hit so often during long car rides that I took to studying the cassette case while reclining on your plush maroon back seat. My favorite outings were to a stifling barn converted to a theater where we once watched Peter Pan fly among the rafters. Afterwards, you pushed cold washcloths to my wrists and I sucked grape juice through a straw. For me, the trips ended at horses, baby doll dresses, and lip gloss, even though my younger sister kept going, kept listening to you sing about single-shot rifles, possums in a sack, and fiddles and bows for a few more years. Then you died, and I lost your song until today, when before I even realize I am singing, the words spring from my lips as if they have always lived, deep beneath blood and bone. So that's my poem, Louisiana Saturday Night. Well, Elegy featuring Louisiana Saturday Night and the Weathervane Theater. And like I said, check out Memoirs and Mixtapes. It's a very cool publication. And I hope you're having a good day wherever you are, and I'll speak to you soon.